Decades before large language models and their human-like prose, writers who sought to challenge traditional narrative forms were already experimenting with systematic processes to create text. One such example is the cut-up technique pioneered by William S. Burroughs in the 1950s. This avant-garde method involved physically cutting up texts and then rearranging the fragments into new, unexpected combinations of words and phrases to reveal hidden meanings or create random poetic juxtapositions. Today, we'll explore how Burroughs applied cut-ups to his work so that we can then recreate that process with Python code. The cut-up method starts with source texts derived from books, newspapers, magazines, or any other written material. The pages are physically cut into fragments and rearranged randomly to form new lines, sentences, and paragraphs. These larger fragments are then combined to create a new text, often with non-linear and surreal qualities. Burroughs typically curated this final stage, relying on intuition to assess, choose, and rearrange the fragments in compelling ways. Let's try to implement this using Python. Since randomness is central to the process, we'll need to import Python's random module. We'll define a function called cutup, which will take a source string as input and split it into fragments of varying lengths. The minimum and maximum number of words allowed in each fragment will be specified with the arguments wordsmin and wordsmax. The function will rearrange these fragments randomly and return them as a list of strings. Inside the function, we'll first split the source text into its constituent words. Strings have an inbuilt split method to handle this. By default, split divides the text at each whitespace character, returning a list of words. We'll create an empty list to store the fragments of cut-up text as we generate them. We'll generate the fragments in a while loop by slicing into the source. To keep track of where each new slice begins, we'll initialize a variable called startIndex to 0. We'll loop while startIndex is less than the length of the source text minus wordsmax. This ensures there is always enough remaining text to create at least one more fragment. To determine the end index for a new text fragment, we'll add a random value to startIndex using random.randint to select a random integer between wordsmin and wordsmax. With the start and end indices defined, we can extract a slice from the source to create a new text fragment. We'll use the join method with a whitespace as the separator to recombine the words into a single string. We can now append the new fragment to our fragments list. To prepare for the next iteration and generate the next fragment, we need to update the start index by setting it to the current end index. After the loop ends, we'll handle any remaining text by creating a final fragment. As before, we'll combine the words into a string using the join method, slicing from start index to the end of source. We'll append this to fragments. We've created a list of strings with varying lengths, but the original order of the whole text is preserved. To shuffle the fragments in place, we'll use random.shuffle. We can now return fragments. We'll test this in a main function. In a variable called sourceText, we'll define a string to serve as the input for our cutup function. We'll create a list called phrases by calling cutup, specifying a minimum of 3 words and a maximum of 7 words per fragment. We'll use the print function so that running the program will output the shuffled fragments to the console. We could recombine these into a new text with the join method and a list comprehension phrase for phrasing phrases. This iterates over each fragment and joins them with spaces into a single string. We've used our cutup function to create and recombine fragments into a single line of text. But what if we wanted to take a large text, perhaps an entire book, and generate many recombinations? This would allow us to curate fragments much like Burroughs did and assemble them into a completely new text. Let's explore how we might accomplish this. Project Gutenberg is an excellent online resource for accessing a wide range of public domain texts in multiple formats. If we download and save a file to the current directory, we can easily work with it using Python's built-in I/O tools. Instead of assigning source text directly as a string, we'll specify its file name in a variable called sourceName. We can now read the contents of our source file. Using a with statement, we'll open the file via Python's open function. The with statement safeguards against file mishandling by ensuring the file is closed once its contents have been read. When invoking open, we'll provide two arguments, a string representing the file name stored in our source name variable, and the mode for opening the file, which in this case is read mode, denoted by the character R. We'll create a variable to store the source text. Calling read.file, we'll return the complete content of our file as a single string. As before, we'll use our cutup function to generate a list of text fragments, each containing a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 7 words. Instead of combining our shuffled phrases into a single text, we'll structure them into small groups. This provides flexibility to choose and rearrange these groups as we see fit. There are various approaches we could take. One straightforward strategy would be to group the fragments into sets of 3. We'll create our new text string from the phrases list using the join method. Each combined group of 3 fragments will be separated by a new line, with the fragments within a group separated by spaces. We'll handle this with a generator expression. For every phrase in the list, we'll append either a space or a new line, depending on its position. We'll use \n to create a new line if I modulo 3 equals 0. In other words, we'll create a new line whenever the index is a multiple of 3. All other fragments will be combined with a space. We'll iterate through phrases with for I phrase in enumerate phrases. Instead of printing this lengthy text string to the screen, let's store it in a new file. We once again use with open as file to create a new file called newtext.txt, specifying write mode with W as the second argument. We'll call file.write to write the new text string to our file. Running the program creates a new file containing the combined fragments generated from our original text, each on a separate line. We can curate this output to create a new Burroughs style cutup text. In this example, we've worked with a single source text, but Burroughs typically combined multiple texts from diverse sources to create interesting juxtapositions of style, tone, and content. One of the benefits of implementing the cutup technique programmatically is how easily we can scale it up. With just a few more lines of code, we can incorporate an array of source text, significantly increasing the variety and richness of the resulting output. We'll rename the source name variable as source names and redefine it as a list containing the names of several text files saved in the current directory. We'll initialize another variable called source texts as an empty string to store the combined content of all our source files. Using a for loop, we'll iterate over the file names in source names. For each file, we'll use the open function to read its content. Inside the loop, we'll add each file's content to our source text string with source texts plus equal file.read. Source text now contains the content of all the specified files, and this consolidated text can be passed to our cutup function. Let's run the program again to create a new text. This time, each line features a random combination of fragments drawn from our specified source files. We can review and select combinations to craft our final text. From here, there are many ways we could continue to explore the cutup. Instead of splitting the text into words, we might experiment with splitting it based on specific characters. Splitting on punctuation could yield results that feel more coherent as it respects the natural boundaries of sentences and clauses. But splitting on specific letters or combinations of letters could lead to increasingly fragmented and abstract text. Rather than combining fragments purely at random, we might apply more programmatic thinking. We could organize fragments thematically by analyzing them for keywords, or we could use sentiment analysis to group fragments based on their emotional tone. We've already used Python to integrate multiple texts, but we can take this even further by experimenting with very large corpora, such as those available on the Gutenberg website. We might then refine our output by applying weights. This would allow certain text to dominate the composition while others provide complementary or contrasting elements. Cutups can extend far beyond the literary creations pioneered by Burroughs. Consider a real-time cutup system, perhaps an interactive installation, where new text fragments are continually generated from live data sources such as news feeds or trending topics on social media. The fragments could evolve dynamically, reflecting the current moment and creating a text that is perpetually in flux. Cutups need not be confined to the literary medium. With tools like Python's matplotlib or Pillow, we can extend the concept to visual media by programmatically slicing and rearranging images. Using Python's Music21 library, we could apply the technique to musical scores. Let me know if you have any more creative ideas. Please like and subscribe if you found this helpful. Leave your feedback, thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.